Todd, when we first encountered Redbird, you folks were in the process of re-engineering, redeveloping, and reimagining, if you will, the concept of the GA flight simulator. Well, times have changed. You're not only doing that and revolutionizing that section of the industry, but you're working your way up the ladder now. We're in front of a prototype King Air 350 sim. There's a Cessna Mustang sim right next to it. Obviously, you're looking at type-specific markets and so forth. Tell me about your plans in that arena.
You know, it was always in our plans, but it's evolved for us much faster than we had anticipated. We were first approached about 2 years ago with somebody who wanted to do recurrent training for a Piper lines, Meridian and Mirage Matrix. And so that's when we started developing these type of simulators. And to date, we have obviously delivered those. We've delivered both King Air 90 and 350 simulators to customers. As you can see beside me, this is a Cessna Mustang simulator that will be delivered to a customer in about 60 days. So we continue to see a lot of traction in that market for ourselves.
Tell me what the process is for developing something that's so type-specific and in an arena where accuracy really, really counts.
It's a bit of a challenge when you're simulating an electrical system, for example. So we actually build the entire electrical system inside of the gauges so that when you pull a specific circuit breaker, the appropriate functionality is diminished based on that action. There is a tremendous effort that goes into the flight modeling, and we think that they fly very, very well. But it is about a 6 to 8 month development project for each new model of aircraft that we develop.
Now, how will these be utilized? What are the mission requirements your customers are setting out in front of you for what they're trying to do with these? Are these going to be initial training, recurrent training, all the above?
To date, predominantly they've been used as recurrent trainers. We are starting to see a move where some people are using them as part of their initial training. Now, whether it's initial or whether it's recurrent, because of the certification level, there are still portions of that have to occur in the airplane. The FAA themselves has 4 of our King Air 90 simulators that they use to train their own employees. And we're starting to see that to be a burgeoning market, especially based on the price point and the feature function that's delivered with these.
Let me ask you this. I'm Joe, fleet operator. I've got a fleet of, say, let's pick something out of PC-12s. I don't know if you've done those yet or not. And I would like you to build me 3 sims. Talk about from the start to, okay, this is what we're going to do to delivered model, what that process is like, how long it takes, so forth and so on.
Yeah, well, the first thing is certainly we want to be very specific with our customers what being delivered. So the first thing we do at time of contract signature is we sit down and we go through a requirements list for them and the feature functions that will be delivered so everybody's in sync. At that point in time, we start collecting all of the aircraft data, the electrical system designs, start gathering the flight data modeling, and then we start turning things over into our R&D to start creating, the circuit breaker panels and those sorts of things. Then over the course of about 6 or 7 months, we will have developed that first model. Obviously, over that time, we're continuing to communicate with our customers, but then we'll bring the customer back in. We'll go through a flight test model with them. We'll create that punch list of any deficiencies they may find, and then in the next 30 to 45 days, we'll correct that prior to shipment.
Sounds like a pretty fast turnaround in flight simulator timeframes.
Well, it probably is. That's why we don't do more than 2 new models per year. Now, once we create that first model, then it can go in the standard production queue. That's about a 90-day delivery schedule. But for new models, which we don't have the PC-12, but is something we're looking at, that would be something that would be about an 8 or 9, 6 to 8 month development cycle. And that's one of the reasons that we only do about 2 of those a year.
Outstanding. Todd, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it, and we're looking forward to seeing not only what you come up with next, but what we can play with next.
All right, Jim, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Aero-TV is brought to you by
The DFC-90 all-digital attitude-based autopilot delivers significant performance and safety improvements over previous generation systems. Its innovative flight envelope protection guards against autopilot-induced stalls, and the straight and level mode provides one-button recovery from unusual attitudes for an added measure of safety. Immensely popular within the Cirrus community, the DFC-90 is now being made available for a growing list of aircraft including Piper Matrix and Mirage, Cessna 182s, and Beech Bonanzas and Barons. Fly with confidence. Fly with DFC-90.